Hey guys, we're going to do another series, another section here of some tactic problems. We're doing the problem set is 1400 to 1700, so let's get started. Okay, so material count. Looks like that I have two minors versus his four, and one rook versus his two, and a queen. And so it appears that this must be going to be a mate. I'm down so much material that I can't help but believe that the solution to this problem must be a checkmate. So I noticed a couple different things. Um, the first is there's a rook check on e8, which would be made if his rook weren't covering that. So we wonder if there isn't some way to deflect that, but I really don't see anything. He's got all kinds of stuff hanging too. His bishop's hanging, his rook there's hanging, but neither one of those seem to really work. Um, do we have any other checks? Ooh, we have a check out here on excuse me, on A5. The queen would come in after that though. That doesn't seem. I don't see where that really gets me immediately. If the knight moves, then I would have. I don't have a check on G5 because of the bishop. So, what's next? Capture. Here's a check that doesn't work. Here, check doesn't work because of the pawn, the queen, all kinds of stuff, reasons why that doesn't work. Hmm. hmm. Boy, I don't see it yet. I just don't see it. Um, what about, no, I was thinking rook e7, but then it gets captured, so that's no good. Not to mention, he could just take my queen. So it, whatever happens, probably needs to happen with check, I would suspect. But I don't have that many checks. I have one, two, three, four, five, six checks. But they all appear to have a flaw. A rook, as I said, capture results in just uh, yeah, rook there just results in him capturing that. Bishop seems like he would just take it again and deflects the queen, but oh, it does deflect the queen to allow this checkmate. Okay, so that took us about 2 minutes, which is way too long. That's really slow. All right, so we have a situation where it appears we must be going to try to queen the pawn, or we're gonna advance and try to win that. Um, I'm seeing like if I push, then the king has to come. Can't go to d7, so it's got to go to excuse me. It's got to go to e6, and if I push again, then the king could just capture. Oh wait, it can't go to e6 because I was queen. So yeah, I go here, forces him to go here, then here, and this will be a pretty easily winning game. That one took 51 seconds again, and kind of slow. All right, so a couple of rooks. I'm down a minor piece, but I can win as I can down a minor piece, but I also have the queen. Let's see here. Looking for a mate again, I assume. If we just capture the queen, then he has to go to this corner. So then we check him again um, here, and then knight. Yeah, this must be right. Okay, 34 seconds. That's not bad. Next problem. Okay, so we have a rook apiece, two minors apiece. He looks like he's threatening to capture here. So, what to do? I'm looking there. I noticed there's a fork with the knight right here. If I was to be able to play that, so I'm thinking like knight e1 check, rook takes, queen takes queen, knight takes, and then rook takes on e8. Looks like it picks up an exchange. I already have a pawn. It's pretty far past. I think that's probably going to be good enough. And it is. So just under a minute there. All right. So here, rook, a couple of rooks apiece, even material. Black is actually up a pawn. So black to move. This piece is hanging. This piece is hanging. Grabbing the knight seems to be the immediate idea. I'm always leery of ideas that come too quickly, though, because it seems like they come quickly for a reason. But so after I take here, I just don't see what he does. It looks like he's not really threatening a check here because I'm covering that square twice, and it doesn't matter if he ends up with anything there other than a rook. So I think I'm just going to take the knight and call it good. That seems like it must be enough. Okay, so what's happening here? Why is he doing this? So he's saying if I capture here, he's going to go here, and that would lead to a checkmate. So how do we resolve that problem? The rook is off limits, right? Correct. So we could just play something like bishop b4, just blocking the rook's influence on the b file. But then if he's going to go here and he's going to pick up a rook back, so that doesn't really work. We need to cover this square in some way. Do I have any piece that can do that? I don't see, I guess just the rook. But if I move the rook over, then he's got rook 8, a7 mate, so I can't do that. This is a little trickier than I expected it to be. I can't move the king anywhere. Playing rook to a7 to cover that square seems like that's a poor idea. What's the material? I'm only up one piece. Really terribly developed, though. I guess, though, if I was to do the bishop out, knight to c4, then I have to play king b7, knight takes here, rook a7 check, and I come back to here. Is that enough? At the end of that, I should be up some material still. Looks like maybe just an exchange, maybe? I think this is what we're going to do. Okay, and it says that that's the correct answer. That one's a little trickier. It said it was rated only 1654, but there's still some play that's going to happen here. So, next one. All right, so black is up several pawns. Looks like 2 pawns. Other than that, material is the same. So what should white do? The first thing that comes to mind is just taking the rook on e8. Why is that bad? Rook takes e8, and if he takes back down here, if he takes back with the rook, then I would just win even more material. So if I take on e8, he will probably take on e2. I'll recapture. He'll recapture with the king. He'll have 2 pawns to exchange. Okay, so that's usually not enough material. All right, so what else could it be? What else? We can play knight takes c4. But if he just retakes with the pawn, I'm not going to win anything here. So there must be another idea, because I don't think taking on e8 is going to be enough to count as a correct problem. He takes. And then what? Takes again. King ends up right here. Obviously, you can't fork a knight with a knight. It just captures, so that can't possibly work. What could it be? I think it has to be here. Okay, I guess that is enough. But usually, I guess I'm up a whole rook because he can't take the knight back. Huh. There's a flaw in my calculation. Thought I was only going to be up an exchange there. Alright, so rook, rook. Minor pieces are even. I would like to take the rook here, but then he can take here with the knight. And I don't see that that has gained us too much to be excited about. So, what can we do instead? What instead? Seems like there should be some sort of snazzy discovery there. But if I move the bishop at all to try to play against the queen here, it seems that he's just going to take. So, what should we do instead? I noticed this diagonal. If I could, seemed like there might have been some sort of a check or something down here, but there's just not. I could deflect the knight somehow, but I don't see that happening. So I take here, he takes here, and then maybe it's just I play the other rook over. It's got to be it. Okay, so he's just gonna trade. He takes with the queen. That's smart, because then he'll take back with the knight next, the rook next rather, and I don't have so much there. What should I do instead? Maybe here? Looks pretty nasty. Yeah, let's do this. Man, I can't see that he would have allowed that. I guess then he's gonna play. No, if he plays, let's say maybe then he'll play bishop e6, but then I'll just take it with the pawn, and I'm still threatening to go here and then win the rook. So let's play this square. Okay, he says that's good. We're gonna take it. Oh, you played a good move, but not the best one. So what's the best one? What's the best move? These are annoying. You get this DXE6 was a good move, but not the computer's forced truth. Please keep looking for another move. Okay. Looking for another move. I'm looking at bishop takes, but then after he just takes with his bishop, I don't see why that's so amazing. Also looking at maybe playing the knight out to g4. So if I play knight out g4, then he takes on e8. Then I take back with on e6 with a pawn, and I'm threatening to checkmate him on f7 and then h7. So he would probably then play. So after I take with the pawn here, he can take. He can't take back with the queen because the knight covers that square. So maybe he'll have to play rook rook f8, and then I can take with the pawn, which will be check, forcing him to take back with the rook. Okay, it's the best we got. Let's see what happens. Okay, its computer seems to like that. So over here, and he does take with the queen to avoid the mate. Okay, all right. 7 for 7. We're going to go for 10. All right. So 2 rooks apiece. White is down. Oh, 1 rook. So, but black has 2 minors for the rook. So okay. I'm looking at queen takes queen. If rook takes, then I take on b7. So queen takes queen, knight takes. And then what? And then what? Don't see it. I guess I just have also I have queen b8 check, and that forces him to interpose with the knight, and I just take it with the queen. If I take with the queen, then he has to play e8 or knight. Ooh, then they're not. He has to play king g7, and then no more checks. I picked up a piece though. I mean, I could also maybe. Oh, he has some issues on f2 also. I should pay attention to. Oh wait, so I go here. He takes the knight, and then I just checkmate him on h8. That seems best. Okay. All right, 8 for 8. 2 to go. We'll be happy. All right. So I am down 1 pawn, but I would like to. His king is a teeny bit exposed. There's some fancy series of checks that wins the material. So I'm looking at like check on G1 or G8. Um, then he has to come out to here, and then we can take on G7 with check. But he can block with the rook. Obviously, we don't want to take it. So, rook E8 check. He just comes out to here. I don't see a good follow up to that because he's attacking my rook. So we don't like that. We're not. He's also threatening to take on f2. So whatever I do has got to be with a check. The rook check blows. So instead, we look at the king check or the queen checks. We have this one and this one. I don't see a great deal of difference between the two. This one seems to give me more scope because I could potentially come out here, although every square along this diagonal is covered. But that still seems better. So I play here, he goes here, and then I check on e8. That forces him up to d6. And then I check again on e7. That forces him over here. And then I check again on c1. Forces him somewhere. This has got to be right, though. Gotta make sure. Does the check here make sense? So we check here. He goes to c6. Then we check on c1, and he goes to someplace. Oh, wait a second. This looks better. Yep, there we go. 9 for 9. All right, one last to go, and we'll be thrilled with ourselves. 1 to go. 1 to go. Okay. So, even material. I have a. He's got a hanging rook down here, so this looks like it's going to be check, check, and pick up a rook. All right, that one was pretty quick. And there we go, 10 for 10 tonight. Pretty happy with that result. So that was fun. Hope you guys enjoyed watching that, and we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.